Okay, we're going to start this video off with a comment by Marie Long. Leon, with all due respect, so much of your videos has been dedicated to your predictions, and it was kind of a waste. It took a lot of time to watch. I appreciate all you do, though. Well, the much spoken of period starts tomorrow on the 18th. Technically, it lasts till November 1st, the end of hurricane season. And so, that 6-week period begins in about 14 hours. So let's check to see if we see any signs of total freaking craziness. Hurricane Humberto is super major, massively big. That's what she said. And he hasn't even passed the coast safely yet. We're hoping he goes out to sea. At the moment, Humberto is a Category 2 with hurricane winds of 100 miles an hour. No threat to the U.S., but Bermuda must be on watch as it gets close to the island. And hey, guess what? Dada Boot, the Florida Wavemaster, is talking to Cool Bobby Storm, just like we saw with Dorian and Ferdinand teleconnecting. Humberto is teleconnecting with 98L Invest. Essentially, always watch tail ends of fronts along stalled or dying fronts from an area of low pressure develop. Sometimes low pressure likes to. Okay, so we've got a major, soon-to-be major hurricane sitting off the East Coast. And we have projections on a storm that have been rising about as fast as I've ever seen them. Jim Cantori, very heavy rain at times may cause many of you to go from drought to deluge. Thread, system in the West Gulf will bring showers and thunderstorms over the region today to Thursday. Today's main areas of concern are mainly along the coastal counties as the storms make their way onshore. We now have 4 areas, Kiko, and then 1, 2, 3 to watch just off the Mexico-Baja Pacific. We've got an endless summer coming to the upper northeast, which is under high watch for hurricanes, in the THORnews opinion. We've got Imelda, which forecast models are showing to be curving towards the United States. Most of the models have it out to sea, but like I've said, I think it'll start to change on the 18th. And then we've got our possible Florida hurricane that would probably be around the late end of the first week of Florida, of the first week of October. This is October 3rd. Here it is. This is the one. So we've got the October hurricane possibly on the board. And when I went back to look at Florence last year, this is actually last year. This is Hurricane Florence as the models were drawing it up. It showed 1, 2 lows behind it. And so we're waiting for that signature. And this is the icon from earlier. So this would be Imelda. And notice how it's climbing up the East Coast. And then you have a machine gun spray of possible lows behind it. Although technically, if this were to hit the East Coast, it would be like on anywhere from the 25th to the 27th. So yeah, I would have got it wrong by like 3 days. But I look at it as like 3 extra days to prepare. And I'd like to take us back to this post from September 13th, 4 days ago. It was the very last day the GFS, or the King Euro, which nailed Sandy, showed any type of landfalls at all. And the GFS showed a hurricane hitting the New York area on the 28th. And so, like I'm saying, my predictions really don't start until the 18th, and then they last through till November. And so, you know, like if New Jersey, New York gets hit by a hurricane, like on the 28th, sure, I was 4 days late, 5 days, but technically it's 5 more days to prepare. And overall, we don't want any hurricanes to hit. The big one is if we do get hit on Florida that moves up the coast in the middle of October. That one's what I'm sure on. And if we don't get hit by any hurricanes at all this year, then like I've already said, all right, I'll give up the weather and I'll go get a quote unquote real job. But yeah, dude, it's pretty crazy. How crazy is it? Some of these models are now showing anywhere from 16 to 30 inches of rain over Texas over the next 5 days. And this is like, quote unquote, snuck up on us over the last 2 days. And then they were saying there's like no chance it could develop. Michael Ventris, all of a sudden, our calibrated Euro ensembles have suddenly locked onto the disturbance over the Gulf of Mexico. The model is now predicting that tropical cyclogenesis will take place prior to a landfall over southeast Texas, which means it has a chance to develop and bring some tropical winds into Houston and the southeast area. And the rainfall projections are flopping all around, and none of them are flopping down. This one has 21 inches around the Angleton area, by Thursday. Concerning for sure. Imelda will probably form today. And so right around the 18th, we happen to get into surprise meteorology season where you get major massive events like anywhere from 10 to 20, possibly 30 inches of rain with what? Less than 24 hours notice? And so that's why I've been saying, whether it be Hurricane Humberto, Imelda, the one after it, don't be surprised if you get some very bad weather surprises with very short notice. Just like they had no idea we could possibly be getting 30 inches of rain 5 hours ago. How will a teleconnection affect Humberto? And that other models have showing Humberto possibly having a Fujiwara effect with Imelda. Like, yeah, the silly season I've been talking about, I admit I over talked about it if nothing happens. But I'm seeing all the signs are here that no matter what, the next 6 weeks are going to be crazy. And for like I said, for now, unless there is a major drastic change, it looks like Humberto is hopefully going to stay off land, but it is Imelda that we are very worried about. And here's the big question I want to know, and we all need to know. Last year, when I said Hurricane Florence was going to hit the East Coast, for a week, everybody said no, it wasn't. It was going out to sea. And so, if my theory is correct, and Florence has a connection, and we're going to see that same type of connection this year, why did everyone think Florence was going out to sea last year? And then when the models locked in on 6 days out, what changed? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, everybody was convinced that that Florence was going out to sea for like 5 days. And then in the middle, they were like, uh-oh, it could hit the East Coast. And so that is my question of what was the big surprising factor that made everybody think Florence was going out to sea when it was heading towards the coast? And that is what we need to watch for this year, whether it be Imelda, like literally these are all giant wet bullets out of a gun. And so a worst case scenario can pop up at any time. And so what lesson did we learn last year? That the models didn't pick up, the Mets didn't pick up, and that only my Jedi sense really picked it up. And so, yeah, I don't know. I'm talking my area is now going to be undergoing heavy flooding. And another thing, I'm going to get weird on y'all. There's a thing called, in astrology, it's Black Moon Lilith. And actually, it's tied into the Bible with Adam and Eve. And anywho, the Black Moon Lilith energy is usually pretty dark. it feels evil to me always. And then all the like people I know that are evil are always very happy and like very like, haha. And so we are in one of those periods right now, and the black moon Lilith energy, super heavy. And so I'm not surprised that shit seems to be unraveling. And my efforts to put together any type of a good guy, good gal team have totally been, stopped at every single direction, every single turn. And so now here we are on the cusp of the 6 weeks period that I've warned about. And all we can do is pray. But honestly, yeah, if you are a meteorologist or anyone who can kind of figure out the missing link here of what did everybody miss last year on Florence, because that is going to be really important. Anyway, so this is just an update that, yeah, it is stepping up. Like last video, there were like some areas could get up to 15 inches. And now we're saying some areas could get up to 30 inches. And yesterday it was like, yeah, some areas could get 7 inches. So do you see how drastically and rapidly things are changing? And that, please don't hand me my report card until November 1st. And, like I said, weather's not a whole lot of fun, to do. There's a lot of pressure. There's not a lot of pay. I haven't made out with a girl in forever. And before I started doing weather, I used to make out with, and we're talking women, okay? So I was like, you got to watch every single word. I haven't made out with a woman in almost 2 years. So I was like giving out all the good things about life to try and get us ready for this shit. And we're still fighting like cats and dogs over whatever the media throws like chum into the water. But you see, like there's one, like, yeah, it's about to get crazy. I think, who knows? Let's check back in 6 weeks. And if we haven't been hit by any hurricanes or had any major problems, then I will do a giant public apology and I'll go get a full-time job and I'll start making videos about video games, or maybe I'll do like fashion montages, or I'll start selling like my own Thor crypto, or or like like I don't even know, but I'm just so like that connects with that, and then this comes up, and it can, like, Mother Nature can humble us more than anything else out there. And so, this has a chance to develop. I don't think it's going to become a hurricane. It could become a tropical storm. It could bring some pretty heavy winds in. And the weird thing is, we seem to be in that weird, silly season where there are major oil pipeline or production facility accidents that cause oil prices to skyrocket. And I get a feeling the oil cartel would love to have $100 barrels of oil by Christmas. So these are definitely interesting times, and it just seems like it keeps getting more unstable and more unstable. And so, well, I'll keep you guys posted, but yeah, I mean, so you got a major hurricane here. You now have what could be a tropical storm and could even possibly become like a Cat 1 before it makes landfall. So that's one hurricane here, one major storm here that could bring 20, 30 inches here. You got others coming up the pipe. Like, all right, so at what point, I don't know. I've gone crazy. And apparently my chance of getting a good luck kiss now or until the end of hurricane season are 0. See, I don't know what to do. Overall, most of y'all are amazing, cool, and I appreciate it. And if I am wrong, I will apologize. And yeah, I guess it wasted a lot of people's time, but we hadn't even started, man. That's all I'm saying. Like, geez Louise. But just remember, if Texas and the South have gotten like 24 hours notice, if not even that, hey, you might get 20 to 30 inches of rain. If there's going to be a major change in here, or if They're going to say Imelda's going out to sea. Like, just remember how fast it can change, especially if there are factors like exterior planetary pressure that the models don't know of, that meteorologists don't know of. If there are factors that are affecting our weather other than carbon, So anyway, I literally tried to do the very best I could. We'll see. Okay. Love you guys. Stay cool. God bless everyone.